I mean, why is it that people actually are like, who comes up with these ideas? Like, who is doing this to their home? Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in this video, we're talking about the top 10 kitchen trends. Some of these are great. Some of these are very pretty, but that doesn't always mean that they're the best or that they work. And you know, on this channel, we believe in the combination of form and function. And with that said, let's get into the video. So the first trend we're gonna be talking about is bold marble. It's everywhere. We see it on all of these major designers' pages. We see it on Instagram, and that's kind of what it is. It's all about Instagram. It's all about vibes. It's all about being in trend. I like bold marble. I like marble as a whole. As a matter of fact, be sure you're subscribed and have that bell notification turned on so that every time I upload you get notified, because there is a video all about marble, the truth about it, how to maintain it, the pros, the cons, and how to find great alternatives coming soon to the channel. But that's not the point of this video. We're talking about marble and the trends. Why is bold marble a trend? I don't know, people like marble, people want something different, they like this, and they're doing it kind of everywhere. I think it can look really good. They'll do it in sinks, they'll wrap things in it. When you're doing bold marble, if you decide to go that route, keep in mind it can look dated. Marble's expensive and you can't just change it every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. You wanna make sure if you're gonna go for this trend that you pick a marble that suits you, fits your home, and is the right investment for you. If you go for a bold marble that has color in it, take that color and bring it into other spaces of your home. What that's gonna do is it's gonna create good flow between that bold marble and the rest of your space so that you don't have kind of a bland home and then this bold marble that's overpowering everything else. You wanna break that up a little bit, and you can do that by adding in a warmer tone or something to contrast the colors in that marble, like a beige, like a camel, something along those lines that will break up a lot of the whites and blacks and cool tones that marble has. All right, the next trend we're gonna talk about kind of relates to that marble, but it's marble everything, specifically these marble vent hoods. I know that a lot of people like them. They're kind of all over the place on Instagram. I don't personally get it. I think it's the same as that kind of like floating vanity thing that we talked about in the video that's linked up here, the bathroom trends that need to go video, because it just doesn't look like it's supported properly. It looks like it's gonna fall off the ceiling. Like, I get that it's secured into the like structure of the house, but then how is the marble up there? Because there's not like screws in the marble, right? So like, is it just glued up there or something? Like, the last thing I need is for a slab of marble to fall off of there and crush me. Although, like, what a way to go. If I was gonna go, like, that would be very on brand. I mean, it would have to be at least Calcutta, because what are you gonna put on your headstone? Like, he was crushed by quartz? I don't think so. The whole reason I don't love this is because it usually is just not done right. It doesn't look structurally sound. Like, it does look like it's gonna fall off of there, but usually it's done way too high, too close to the ceiling, and the vent hood itself isn't actually gonna suck up all of that smoke and grease, and then it's gonna get all over the marble, which if you don't properly seal it, will stain it, and then you're gonna have like nasty yellow marble that's, just not the vibe. Just don't do it. The next trend we're gonna be talking about is bringing mirrored elements into kitchens. This is just never a good idea. I'm seeing mirrored backsplashes, I'm seeing people do mirrored vent hoods, and like, you know what, that's cool if you're a Beverly Hills housewife with an army of people to take care of you, but my maid is lazy and she has an attitude. It's me. I'm the maid. So the maintenance of something like that is just not realistic. I mean, you're gonna have to clean that all the time. It's gonna show grease like instantly. It's gonna look dusty. It's just not the vibe. Don't go for mirrors in a kitchen. There's a time and a place for it. It's not on your backsplash. It's not on your vent hood. This is something that's very like, I'm an Instagram designer, but I don't actually know about design type of thing. Don't do it. It looks cool in like a designer show house, but in your actual home, unless you have all day to devote to cleaning it, it's not gonna be the vibe. It's not gonna work for you. I mean, maybe you don't cook. Lots of people can't cook. Mirrors in kitchens don't work well. They show every spot. They show all the grease, all the dirt, all the dust, every mark. Not it. Steer clear of mirrors in your kitchen. The next trend I am seeing, and is kind of scaring me a little bit, is the feature backsplash. I think you can do a feature backsplash in a really good way, but feature backsplashes tend to look dated from the start. They tend to look tacky and cheap. because they tend to be tacky and cheap. So just steer clear of these kind of feature backsplashes. I've had them in kitchens, I've ripped them out of kitchens. You know, you don't want your kitchen looking like some tacky chain restaurant, and you want it to be a little bit timeless because these are expensive features to change. Steer clear of these feature backsplashes. They're just, they get old quick, and they honestly, they go in and they already look old. Just don't do it. Steer clear of it. Go for something neutral. Go for something that has good flow with the rest of your home, especially in those built-in features. As a matter of fact, I went into depth about this in my renovation mistakes you're making video. I will link it here for you. Definitely watch that if you are redoing any area of your home, whether it's a kitchen, a bathroom, the floors, or just painting. It's a lifesaver. The next trend I'm seeing all over the place is colored cabinetry. So right now, as far as trends go, wood tones are not in. Personally, I don't get it. People are doing a ton of painted kitchens, which I love. I love an all white kitchen. I love just an unexpected color in a kitchen. But a lot of people are doing two-tone kitchens. I like this. I actually think it's really cool. I think you can mix in white and black. You can go for a fun color somewhere. If you're gonna go for a two-toned kitchen, do an island one color and the cabinetry along the wall another. Do your upper cabinets one color and your base cabinets another. Mix it up, but be consistent. Also, make sure those colors work and flow well in your home. You don't want to have contrasting colors and different colors that have no relation to each other from room to room. Otherwise, your home is going to feel like a combination of add-ons as opposed to one full space.
Oh, if you could see these trends, you would hate them too, wouldn't you, Albert?
Now the next trend I am seeing, and the one I have the biggest issue with, it drives me crazy because there is such a lack of attention to detail, are these open shelves on either side of a vent hood. Now I think they can be done really, really well, but point being is that they need to be consistent, they need to look built in, they need to feel substantial. You can't have these shelves that are kind of like offset at weird places. The shelves need to have lines that flow well with the rest of your kitchen and cabinetry. So if you're gonna do a shelf that aligns up with the bottom of your cabinetry, the bottom lines need to flow together. And then that next shelf should line up with the bottom of the vent hood. You want those lines to be flowing and consistent. Because when you have that little bit of a difference, like that 1 or 2 inch, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, let me put my finger in there, let me touch it. Like, why is it there? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't look good. It looks cheap. It looks tacky. When you just take that little bit of attention to detail and move that about 1 inch or 2 in the right direction, it looks so much better. It looks so much more built in. That's a really great designer detail and feature to incorporate into your home, because not having it just makes your cabinetry, makes these shelves look like they're just hung on a wall as opposed to a built-in substantial feature in your home. The next trend I am seeing as far as kitchens go is the countertop pantry. Now, all of my British friends out there, all of my European friends out there are going to look at this and say, that's a Larder? Is that in? Is that like a trend? In the US, we didn't have them. They are here now and I am obsessed. Not only because I'm just like obsessed in general with like British influencers, but I'm just obsessed with the Larder, period. I think it's such a great option for storage. Now what we are seeing primarily is these used as countertop pantry storage options. This can be a good thing and a bad thing. If you have a really big kitchen that has the countertop space where you can accommodate this, it's great. If you have a smaller kitchen, you might not have that. What you can do to get this, if you are looking to upgrade things, like just changing out the upper cabinets in a kitchen can make a total difference. You can incorporate this then, put it into a corner. Take advantage of that unused corner space. They're not being used effectively. This is a great option to do that. Push it into a corner. You could double the storage space in your home and still retain all of the usable countertop space. I love these. I think they're great. I think they look super luxurious. A great way to hack this is actually to get the upper part of a hutch and paint it a contrasting color to your kitchen and just set it on top of the countertops. It looks fabulous. It looks really cool. It can have a vintage effect. It can have a very modern look to it. This is a really great option to increase the storage space in your kitchen. It's a trend I love. It's not really a trend. It's more of just we in the States are finally realizing why everybody else in the world is doing this and we want it for ourselves. I love it. You need it. this is probably the best trend on this list. The next trend I am seeing everywhere is the no upper cabinetry trend. Now, I think it looks cool. You know, I like upper cabinetry. They have to go to the ceiling so you don't have that horrible gap there. But this trend is all about minimalism. It can be cool. It's kind of one big shelf that runs the full way around a kitchen, which I think is nice. You are gonna have to keep in mind that that shelf will collect dust, and it's something you're gonna have to take care of. You know, like if you have plates sitting up there, dust is going to get on the plates. It's just a part of having this. The thing I don't like about this trend, and what I think the biggest mistake when it comes to this is that usually it goes all the way around the kitchen. It will come underneath a hood because it's a little bit lower sat to make it more accessible, is that if it goes below that hood, you're gonna get a grease buildup on there that you're gonna have to clean regularly, especially since most of this trend is done in marble. It's just not gonna be a good situation. You're gonna have to seal it, otherwise it's gonna stain. It's just not gonna look good. If you're gonna go for this trend, take that shelf and bring it up to the vent hood, right to where that is, have it stop at each side of the vent hood, like dead end into it. It's gonna look more clean, it's gonna look a little bit more built in, it's gonna be even more minimalistic. You can bring that vent hood down a little bit to have that more accessible reach, but keep in mind, you are gonna have to maintain that regularly. It is gonna get dusty. That's just a part of what this trend is about. And it's something you have to keep in mind. I don't personally love it for me. I think a shelf in a kitchen is great, but having this, I am kind of like, where is your stuff? You guys know I'm all about it. Where's the stuff? Where are your things? You have to be a very organized person to maintain this. I'm not about that life. I can't keep up with it. It's a little bit too much, and everything you have has to be perfectly aesthetic to be on here because you're gonna see everything. It's a little bit too much work, too much maintenance, and too much upkeep for me and what I think you should have in your kitchen. But if you're gonna go for this, keep in mind, you want to make it as effective as possible so that you have enough storage. I don't know, like where is your stuff? I just don't get it. Not for me. The next trend is probably the worst, probably the most dangerous, and I just am like very concerned for people who are doing this, and that is the no upper cabinets, but it's just a glass shelf. It's, what are you doing with the glass shelf? Like, who came up with this? Whoever did this obviously has that same army of housekeepers. I'm not the one. A glass shelf is just always gonna show every speck of dirt, dust, grease, soot, everything. It's gonna collect it all and just, I just can't. I'm not the one. I just don't get that. This is like the worst trend possible. Please do not do this. From a visual perspective, it's like not even having anything there, which maybe that's the point of it. I don't get it, because then you're gonna have something that looks like it's not there, but then when you do see it, it's gonna be covered in grease and crud. Like, I'm not the one. It's not for you, it's not for me. It's not for anyone. Our last trend that I'm seeing in kitchens, it's a big thing everywhere. It's a very like an armchair designer type of thing. It's the overuse of texture in a kitchen. Kitchens have to function. They have to look good, but they have to function primarily. Having too much texture in a kitchen is going to be problematic. Texture can be great in places like a living room, a dining room, a bedroom, every other space except for kitchens and bathrooms. In a kitchen is really not great. Texture in a kitchen looks really good, but how are you taking care of it? How are you cleaning it? You can have textured backsplashes, you can have textured cabinetry, wood, shelves, all of that. Texture can't be cleaned all that well. Steer clear of it, or you wanna go for more like visual texture than actual texture. You want things in a kitchen to be smooth, cleanable. They need to look good, of course, and you want to have that layer in there, but if you're gonna have a kitchen that properly functions for you, it needs to be maintainable. Having too much texture in a space like that is not gonna bring anything good to you. It might look good, but it's not a kitchen I wanna eat out of. Let's just leave it at that. Now, we all know someone who's redoing their kitchen, maybe they're remodeling, maybe they just need help making those final decisions. Share this video with them, because friends help friends. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about these trends. What other trends are you seeing that you are just questioning? Like, what is going on here? I wanna know, I wanna hear from you. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.